Hello, I'm going to be looking at the 16th of May. I don't use true nodes. So for me, there is no eclipse. There's no lunar eclipse. It's actually just a full moon in Scorpio. You can use true nodes or mean nodes, and because I use mean nodes, the calculations are slightly different, so it's more like a steady way of looking at the nodes. And but I do want to just share a few bits of information regarding the this full moon with you. And obviously, you choose what you resonate with. But for me, I'm happy to stay with what my teachers have told me. So let's have a look at the chart of the moment of this full moon. Get with me. Okay. So I just wanted to just show you, and I've actually put the outer planets in as well, because I think as you know, we have moon is actually it's all about liquid assets. And this is the chart of the moment. And what we can do is just have a really good look at what's happening. So we have Sun and Mercury in Critica in the second house, which is in Taurus. Taurus is about banking, finance, and economy generally. And I think what's going to me, it appears to be that we're going to go into this is the beginning of the financial crisis and the economy actually flattening out and dropping. I can see that stock market will actually literally die, if you like, in that case. And what will happen will, I mean, when I say that, I just think that it's collapsing. You know, it's just like literally it's a free fall, and whatever they do, and this is something that needs to be happening. And Sun is there in Critica, and so is Mercury. Mercury is rules stock market and rules currency generally. And as you can see, it's retrograde in Critica. So they both are in a sign of, in the nakshatra of Agni. And Agni is all about, this nakshatra is all about cutting out what's no longer needed. And Sun is also rules the 5th house of natural zodiac, which is stock exchange. I forgot what they call it in America. So this is like literally, stock exchange, stocks and shares and things like that. So basically all these inflated things that the banks used to, and it's also banking, second house is banking. And I can just see a lot of the federal banks and central banks actually might be struggling at this time, if not closing. A lot of banks, I have noticed, have closed and will be closing because they have been using a fiat system, which is not gold backed or asset backed. So its money just has been printed and it's created massive inflation for us, which all around the world we're suffering from. And it's very easy to point fingers at one country and saying it's because of their leader that this has happened. This is not. This is because banks have been irresponsible, and the people, the so-called elite who are running the world as well, it's like they encourage that kind of thing. So we are heading for freedom, financial freedom from all of that. That is what I can see, because everything with this full moon is all about changes. Moon is assets, homeland, countries, and people. And it's actually debilitating the 8th house. So we know that in terms of like liquid assets, things like there's going to be some form of change going on. And this is also encouraged by both Venus and Jupiter rule money and wealth. And they're both in the 12th house, even though they're both strong, but it just actually means that they're still in the house of loss. And Neptune is there because it's what it is. It's all fantasy. It's all like smoke and mirrors, really. All this money, all this banking, all these big corporations. It's the end of them. It's the end of all of those unaccountable monies. maybe, money laundering and things like that? Was it really by normal people, or was it that like some of the banks had something to do with it? I've also heard just this week that biggest bank in Germany has had issues too. So I think I did do a video about this a few months ago, but I think this, like, the free fall is it's imminent. Basically, it's going to be happening, and as you can see, that Uranus is on the ascendant in Bharani. Bharani is all about like change. It's like a pioneering thing happening. And Rahu is the 11th house ruler of banking. So there's going to be a new banking system. Rahu being everything new. Uranus is going to be sudden change. I just think it's going to be great for all of us, really, to be honest. I just think, don't worry if things are going to change. Your money is safe. There are people in the background who have known that this situation in the world cannot continue as it is. You can't just keep printing money and just think everything will be okay. This is just very irresponsible of countries, governments, politicians. So now we're going to have, everything is going to be slowly moving into this imminent change, and so the banking is going to change. The way we bank, the way we borrow money, the way wealth is generally, is no longer going to be about big corporations, big organizations. It's going to be much more, we are all going to have, you can just literally see that, because in the next 6 months, there's going to be a shift where things are going to be moving more towards us, normal people, because Saturn is there. Saturn is going to give us the structure that we need. It's going to support the people. It's going to support the communities and the humanitarian things. And Saturn and Mars together make things happen, make that change happen. It's 8th house ruler and 11th house ruler together. So it's a sudden change, a change that's going to benefit all of us. And also, they are both breaking and dealing with all these organization corporations that have not had our back, all these big corporations who have had all these really, because I've noticed even the company that, the two companies who've been making the serums that go in the arms, they've literally, their CEOs have actually parted with a company. I've noticed that one of them has taken their shares off the stock market, and the other one has also deleted his account on Twitter and also sold his shares. So that there's going to be a massive change coming from the top. So those are, and also this is happening not just in that department, also Sun and Mercury are also in the sign of food, farming, agriculture. So I feel as though clearly there's going to be like issues with food, transportation and all of that, because obviously fuel and things like that are very, very expensive. But what will happen within, the next 6 months, if we are just much more aware, grow our own stuff, and make some maybe store some things, that can be helpful, long tinned food, canned food, and then maybe, what will happen is that agriculture is slowly, they're going to get the support from the governments, new communities and things, so they can actually grow more organic stuff, more organic foods. That's Mercury in Taurus will help that, and so there'll be new structures coming up. I just think everything's going to be quite exciting. So although we might feel a little bit of hardship, if we communities look after each other, if we're aware of have each other's back, because if the governments have let us down, we can look after each other, and everything will work out for the better, and we will see the benefits of it probably comes November time. But you can see that there is going to be like the collapse of the finances, because when Venus, which is the ruler of the second house, is in the 12th house, even though it's exalted, nonetheless, though, it is letting go of the money. And Jupiter is the ruler of the 9th house. It's sort of the establishments and the whole kind of structure of law, religion, things like that. We're going to be questioning them, and they're feeling a bit of pressure because they're Venus and Jupiter, two benefics. They're going to be like they're hemmed between Rahu and Saturn, and obviously Mars. So there is going to be some accountability going forward. Oh, it's going to be amazing, guys. So don't worry, because also K2 from where it's sitting is aspecting the Aquarius, and things will be fine, because when you then have a look at the D9 of that moment, because obviously this is what's going to be like the what literally the theme for the next couple of weeks. I think there's going to be some disclosures. We're going to learn a little bit about things that's been happening about the big corporations, because Rahu is the 11th house ruler, is in the first house in Kritika. So there's going to be some disclosure. 12th house as well. 12th house is all the secrets. So we shall know. And if you look at the D9, so that Saturn, which is us people, we're going to be triumphant, be exalted, and in there's an exchange between Saturn and Venus. So this is amazing, where Venus is also, it's quite strong, and we got like Jupiter and Mercury as well, despite the fact that Mercury is actually debilitated, but there's an exchange between the 12th. So there's going to be a lot of disclosures coming up, a lot of secrets are going to come out, and media will have to, people who report on the so-called truth, they will be held accountable, and so things will be changing, and look, we the people, even though that moon is debilitated, in reality we are not. We are nice and strong, and we will have the control of everything. So I can see that the people will be in charge of their own destiny going forward. So that's all I wanted to say. So despite the fact that moon is indicating some change, that change is going to be for the better. And so that's it from me. I'll see you next time. Thank you.